Big C in the house. You know the name. Fin Posse Podcast. Changing the game. Fins up high. Feel the aqua and orange. Miami Heat blazing. We scorching the floor. Marino the tour. We stacking the saga. Legacy deep, call it football nirvana. Big C, break it down, got the stats in his veins. Play-by-play knowledge like he's calling the chains. Fins flying on the field, opponents feel the blast. Tyreek cheetah speed, leaving DBs in the past. Waddle with the wiggle, defense with the clamp. Aqua drip so clean, whole squad's the champ. Tune in, Big C, got the mic on lock. Fin Posse Podcast, it's the cream of the crop. Breaking news, hot takes, repping the block. For the Dolphin faithful, it's the one-stop shop. Fin Posse. We the voice of the fans. Miami stand tall, got the world in our hands. Best podcast, yo, ain't no debate. Big C, big vibes, setting it straight. Defense smash, call it Aqua Tsunami. X locking routes like a South Beach Armani. O-line holding strong, trenches like a fortress. Big C dissected, no stack goes dormant.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain.
What up, Fin fans? Welcome to another episode of the Fin Posse Podcast. I am your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. How is everyone doing today? Hello, good morning, good early afternoon. How is everyone doing? Bonnie, good morning. Michael K, good morning. Glenn, good morning. Getting our week started off the correct way. We got football just around the corner. It's football season finally. It's finally football season. Super, super excited. It feels like it's been such a long road to get here. I just cannot wait for this weekend. I cannot wait. I hope everybody's as pumped as I am. I really hope that everybody's expectations are met. Unless, listen, I don't like to call people out, really. I think everybody's entitled to their perception, entitled to their opinion. But when you wish downfall on my quarterback, that's when I cross the line. That's when you've crossed the line, when you wish despair upon my quarterback. And that's exactly what my boy Pete's Take did yesterday. He said he could not wait for this weekend for Tua to fail, to absolutely fail, to Tua to just eat crow, for Tua to fail miserably. And I don't know how you call yourself a Dolphin fan when you want to see the starting quarterback of your team fail. You might not be a fan of Tua. I get that. But to see your quarterback fail, that means the rest of the team failed. And these wild opinions he has, it's just a crazy, it's like a episode of the X-Files, folks. He has so many crazy narratives that it blows my mind. According to Pete, Tyreek is faking the oblique injury. So because he was not named team captain, he is going to deliberately pull himself out on third downs and say, okay, Tua, you do it. Okay, Tua, you the captain, you do it. that Tyreek is going to be traded before week 1. And if he's not traded before week 1, he is going to pull himself off the field just so this Miami Dolphins team can fail because they did not make him team captain. That's just crazy to me. Crazy. Yeah. Does Tyreek want to be in Miami? I think he does. Before we get started with the record predictions and the game predictions, does Tyreek want to be in Miami? Yes. Would Tyreek rather be in Kansas City? Yes. Does Tyreek want to win? Yes. Was Tyreek frustrated last year when we didn't make the playoffs? Yes. But the come up with these crazy narratives about your football team is just, it's mind-numbing. Mind-numbing. And again, Pete, I'm going to be waiting for that $100. You keep moving the goalpost saying, we made the bet that Cam Smith would start less games than not. And then you said the bet was Cam Smith wouldn't start a game all year. I wouldn't have made that bet, to be honest. I wouldn't have made that bet the way our corner room is set up. But I don't even know if Cam Smith starts a game at all. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that bet. But again, everybody fan and you're wishing downfall on this team before the season even starts. And for the people like Michael Kay and the countless media outlets across the country that have the Miami Dolphins failing this year, I really hope that you guys all have to swallow your words. I really hope you do. Because whether you want to admit it or not, there's a lot of talent on this football team. And if this team is healthy, I think they have a legit shot to compete for playoff wins. Do I think they're at a championship caliber right now? No. But who knows? The playoff or the trade deadline comes along and this team is successful. Maybe we go make a move and add that piece or two to this team that puts us over the edge, that does make us a Super Bowl contender. Right now, I don't think we're a Super Bowl contender, not even a little bit, but I do think we're a contender for the playoffs. I don't like to call people out, but damn, that names are getting thrown around with reckless abandon. Listen, I'm not gonna hold my tongue. I'm not gonna hold my tongue. If you say something stupid, you deserve to be called out. It's my opinion too, right? They can have their opinions. I can have my opinions. And shoot, I can say a lot more about people that, everybody thinks that are swell guys and, they're real life pieces of shit undercover. People that are so in love with some of these podcasters that are real life, not good guys behind the scenes. You get what you get with me. You get what you get with me. I keep it 100 with everybody. I know it, Michael K. There's a million of you on the internet. There's a million of you. The Buffalo Bills don't have a depth chart at running back. Come on, bro. Casual of the casual. But anyway, we're going to do a game-by-game prediction of the 2025 NFL season. I don't know where it's going to end up. I don't know where it's going to take us. Maybe the Dolphins make the playoffs. Maybe they don't. Who wins what division, who's in, who's out, and who's going to the Super Bowl. And now this is a way too early prediction. The season we haven't played one snap of this season. So of course injuries happen. So who knows? You're not under my skin, brother. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Fans do need to back the Fins. And don't get me wrong. I don't think you should back the Fins blindly. But let's not make up narratives. This team This team has enough things that you can point the finger at and say that's an issue. You don't got to make up things. Oh, Tyreek is faking an oblique injury so he can pull himself out on third downs and he has an excuse just to shit on Tua. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, there's enough issues with this football team. You ain't got to make up issues. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you should lead this team blindly. I don't think you should support every move the Dolphins make. There's a lot of things the Miami Dolphins do that I don't support. But again, I keep it 100. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of these podcasters out there that act like they're super good guys that people continue to donate their money to that wouldn't give you the shirt off their back and behind the scenes. First off, they play week 3. Yep. And you can call me casual, see whatever you say. The Miami Dolphins do have a shot to beat the Buffalo Bills week 3, regardless of what you say. The Bills aren't invincible. Now, am I a realistic person? Yeah, absolutely. Is there a good chance Buffalo walks out week 3 with a win? Yeah, absolutely. There's a very good chance that Buffalo beats Miami in Buffalo. There's a better chance that Buffalo wins that game. But is it possible that the Dolphins beat Buffalo week 3? Absolutely. 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 And I think it's still early enough in the season where Buffalo ain't going to be at top form. I think it's early enough in the season where Miami's going to have a fairly healthy roster. And I think these rosters straight up are similar. Buffalo obviously got the edge at quarterback. No question. No question. But the rosters are pretty even in my opinion. So let me get this up here and pull this up. Again, we're going to do at each and every game. I'm not going to get too much in depth because that would be a very long episode. Cap, you know exactly what I was talking about. I can't believe you even got involved in that Pete's Take conversation yesterday with the whole narrative that Tyreek's faking his oblique injury and this and that. Come on, man. Please tell me you don't honestly believe that. Please tell me you don't believe that, brother. No, I know Cap is very apprehensive of the expectations that we have of this football team. You know what I mean? And there's things that Cap questions as far as the direction this team's going in and how good they can truly be. But I think Cap is realistic. I think Cap is knowledgeable, and I just don't think Cap can be led into the dark by a blind man. You know what I mean? So Blake, they're saying that Tyreek is faking the oblique injury because he was not named a team captain. He's going to pull himself out at third downs just so he can make Tua look bad. He's going to be traded by week 1. And if he's not traded by week 1, he's forcing his way out. He absolutely has no want or will to be here. Pete is spicing it up, but I feel Cheetah ain't going nowhere until things get bad. Things aren't going to get bad, Cat. Have some faith. Have some faith. This team's got talent. If we can stay healthy, they should be better than last year. Who you want for Cheetah or who you want from Cheetah? I don't. What's the cash question, Cat? If this season, doesn't go the way that I hope it does, and we have a losing record by the bye, I think we should tear it down. I absolutely do. I think you should trade away most assets and start the rebuild early. That's it. That's if we have a losing record by bye week. I don't think we will. But if we do, let's say we do have a losing record by bye week, I think we should tear it down. That's my opinion. Because there's a good chance Tyreek's not going to be here next year with a $47 million cap hit, I think it is. If things are going poorly, there's a good chance that there's no opportunity to re-sign him on a different deal. But yeah, if we're not healthy and we start out the season bad, because the second half of the season is way harder than the first half. So if we get through the first half of the season and we got a losing record, chances are it's not going to get very much better. It's probably only go downhill from there. And when I say tear it down, I mean tear it down. I'm talking about trying, I don't know what contracts look like and what damages would be done by trading these players. I'm just saying what I would try to do. I would try to trade to Chubb. I'd try to trade Phillips. I'd try to trade Waddle. I'd try to trade Hill. Wait, when I say I would try to trade everything that I possibly could. That makes sense financially. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into the game by game predictions. We'll see who makes the playoffs, who's in, who's out. And yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I dare you to do it. All right, let's pull it up. All right, so game 1, we got Philly and Dallas. I'm taking Philly. Kansas City, the Chargers. I like KC. Tampa Bay, Atlanta. I'm going Tampa. Cincinnati, Cleveland. Cincinnati. Dolphins, Colts. I'm taking the Dolphins. Carolina at Jacksonville. I'm going to take Jacksonville because they're at home. Raiders at New England. I'm going New England. And we got Arizona at New Orleans. I think New Orleans is going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. So I'm taking Arizona. You got Pittsburgh at the Jets. I'm going Pittsburgh. Giants at Washington. I'm going Washington. Oh, shit. I got to pull this down. Tennessee at Denver. I'm going Denver. San Francisco at Seattle. I'm going San Francisco. You got Detroit at Green Bay. I'm going to take Detroit. I know Green Bay got Parsons. People are making a big deal out of that. I still think Detroit's the better team in that conference or that division. Houston at the Rams. I'm going the Rams. Baltimore at Buffalo. I'm going Baltimore in that game. Minnesota at Chicago. I'm going to surprise people. I'm going to take Chicago in this one. I'm going to take Chicago in this game. On the week 2, we start off with Washington at Green Bay. I'm going to take Green Bay. I think Washington's probably the better team, but I think it's a lot to ask a young quarterback to go into Green Bay and win. Cleveland at Baltimore. I'm going to take Baltimore. Jacksonville at Cincinnati. Going Cincinnati. Their offense is just going to be exceptional. Giants at Dallas. I'm going to take Dallas. Chicago at Detroit. Detroit. New England at Miami. 1:00 game in September. I don't think New England's going to be. I think it's going to take a while for New England to really hit their stride. I'm going the Dolphins. San Francisco at New Orleans. Again, I'm not going to have New Orleans winning very many games, if any. Buffalo at the Jets. I'm going to go Buffalo. Although I do think the Jets could pull off the upset there. Seattle at Pittsburgh. I'm going Pittsburgh. Rams at Tennessee. Going Rams. Carolina at Arizona. I'm going Arizona. Denver at Indy. I'm going Denver. Bo Nix in his second year. Let's see if he has a sophomore slump. Philadelphia at Kansas City, a rematch of the Super Bowl. I am going Philadelphia. Atlanta at Minnesota. I'm taking Minnesota. They're high. They got a really good defense. We'll see what McCarthy can give them from the quarterback perspective. Tampa Bay at Houston. I'm going Tampa. Chargers at the Raiders. I'm going the Chargers. Week 3. Miami at Buffalo. This is the upset alert right here. I'm taking Miami to start out the season 3-0. And this is not going to be a homer. I know that we're 3-0 right now, but trust me when I tell you, I'm not doing a homer pick. This isn't a homer pick 'em. This is not a homer pick 'em. Atlanta at Carolina. I'm going to take Carolina in this one. Green Bay at Cleveland. I'm taking Green Bay. Houston at Jacksonville. I'm going to take Jacksonville in this game. Cincinnati at Minnesota. I'm going to take Minnesota. Pittsburgh at New England. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. Rams at Philly. I'm going to take Philly. Jets at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. We got Indianapolis at Tennessee. I like Indy. Raiders at Washington. I'm going to go Washington. Denver at the Chargers. I'm going to take the Chargers. New Orleans at Seattle. Going Seattle. Dallas at Chicago. I'm going to go Chicago. Arizona at San Francisco. Going San Fran. Kansas City at the Giants. Going Kansas City. And Detroit at Baltimore. I'm taking Baltimore in this game. I think Baltimore is the cream of the crop this year. I really do. Them and the Eagles. Week 4. We got Seattle at Arizona. I think I'm going to take Seattle in this one. Minnesota at Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. Washington at Atlanta. I'm taking Washington. New Orleans at Buffalo. Taking Buffalo. Cleveland at Detroit. Detroit. Tennessee at Houston. Both of these teams 0-3 right now. Houston gets the win, though. Carolina at New England. I'm taking New England. Their defense is going to be really good, I think. Chargers at the Giants. I'm taking the Chargers. Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. This is a game that I think Philadelphia could lose. I think Philadelphia could lose this game. I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I'm going to take Tampa Bay to upset Philadelphia. Indianapolis at the Rams. I'm taking the Rams. Jacksonville at San Francisco. Taking San Francisco. Baltimore at Kansas City. I'm taking Baltimore. Chicago at the Raiders. I'm taking Chicago. I think Caleb Williams has a strong second season. Green Bay at Dallas. That'll be a very interesting game with the Parsons. I think Green Bay wins that. Jets at Miami. I'm taking Miami to win Monday Night Football. Cincinnati, Denver. I'm taking Cincinnati. I think their offense is just too good. Week 5. San Francisco at the Rams. I'm taking the Rams. Minnesota, Cleveland. I'm taking Minnesota. Houston at Baltimore. Taking Baltimore. Miami at Carolina. I'm taking the Dolphins. And I know the 5-0 looks really good. And I know you're like, Big C, I don't know if we're going 5-0. Again, there's a very good chance we lose to Buffalo in Buffalo. So there's a very good chance that we're not 5-0 at this point. We're 4-1. We got the Raiders at the Colts. I'm going to take the Raiders in this one. We got Giants at New Orleans, taking the Giants, give them their first win. Dallas at the Jets. I'm going to take Dallas. Denver at the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles. Check the top thing in the freezer. Tennessee at Arizona. I'm taking Arizona. Tampa Bay at Seattle. I'm taking Tampa to start out the season 5-0. Detroit at Cincinnati. I'm taking Detroit. I don't think Cincinnati's defense is good enough to slow Detroit down. Washington at the Chargers. I'm taking Washington. New England at Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo. Kansas City at Jacksonville. I'm taking Kansas City. Sorry, I can't see your comments. Michael K., that's exactly why you're delusional. If you think the Dolphins are 1-4, you're delusional. You're just a hater, bro. Just a hater. Just a hater. But it's okay. It's okay. A bum-ass hater. All right, week 6. Let's get to week 6. Philly at the Giants, going Philly again. They're just too good. Denver at the Jets, going Denver. I think Aaron Glenn's going to be a good coach. I just think he doesn't have enough talent. Rams at Baltimore, I'm going Baltimore. Dallas at Carolina. I'm going to take Dallas. CeeDee Lamb. Dak Prescott can still light up a scoreboard. Arizona at Indy. I'm going to take Indy in this one. Seattle at Jacksonville. I'm going to take Seattle. Chargers at Dolphins. I'm going to give this game to the Chargers, even though I think Miami could win this game, but I don't want to be too much of a homer. This is a 1:00 game in Miami. They have to travel all the way across the country. And that Miami Heat is something different. I know it's hot in LA, but it's not the same as Miami Heat. So I think Miami could win that game also. But I'm going to give them the loss there. I'm going to give the Chargers the benefit of the doubt. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins that. San Francisco at Tampa. I'm going to give the win to San Francisco in this one. Tennessee at the Raiders. I'm going to go the Raiders. Gentry, I think, is going to be very good in his first year. Cincinnati at Green Bay. I'm going to take Green Bay. New England at New Orleans. I'm going to take New England. Detroit at Kansas City. I'm taking Detroit. Buffalo, Atlanta. Buffalo. Chicago at Washington. I'm taking Washington. We're on the week 7. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. I'm taking Cincinnati. Rams at Jacksonville. I'm taking the Rams. New Orleans at the Bears. I'm taking the Bears. Dolphins at Cleveland. I'm taking the Fins. That puts the Fins at 6-1. I think realistically 5-2 is still a very good record. I think 5-2 is still a very good record. Raiders at Chiefs, taking the Chiefs. We got Philly at Minnesota. I'm gonna say Philly or Minnesota wins this game against Philly, upsets them. Carolina at the Jets. I think the Jets get their first win. New England at Tennessee. I'm going New England. Giants at Denver. I'm taking Denver. Indy and the Chargers, taking the Chargers. Green Bay at Arizona. I'm going Green Bay. Washington at Dallas, taking Washington. Atlanta at San Francisco. I'm taking San Fran. Tampa at Detroit. I'm taking Detroit. Week 8, Minnesota at the Chargers. I'm taking Minnesota. I think Minnesota figures out their offense identity by this point, and their defense is really strong, one of the top in the NFL. You got Miami at Atlanta. I think Miami wins this game too. I really do. Chicago at Baltimore. I'm going Baltimore. Buffalo at Carolina. Going Buffalo. Jets at Cincinnati. Going Cincy. San Francisco at Houston. I'm taking San Francisco. Cleveland at New England. Taking New England. Giants at the Eagles. I'm going the Eagles. Tampa at New Orleans. I'm going Tampa. Dallas at Denver. I got to go Denver. Tennessee at Indy. I'm going to say Tennessee steals this one. Gets Cam Ward his first win. Green Bay at Pittsburgh. I'm going Green Bay. Washington at Kansas City. I'm going to take Kansas City in this one. Week 9, halfway through the season. You got Baltimore at Miami. I think, like I said, Baltimore's, I got them as the best team in the league. I think they win that game. Chicago at Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati. Minnesota, Detroit. I got Detroit. Carolina, Green Bay. I got Green Bay. Denver, Houston. It's in Houston. I think Houston pulls it off. Atlanta, New England. I'm going to say Atlanta knocks them off. San Francisco and the Giants. I'm going San Francisco. Now, I think the Giants got a better team than a 1-8 team at Midway. They just their schedule is kind of screwed up. Indy at Pitt. I'm going Pitt. Chargers at Tennessee, going Chargers. New Orleans at the Rams, going the Rams. Jacksonville at the Raiders. I'm going to take the Raiders at this point. Kansas City at Buffalo. Buffalo typically has their number in the regular season. Seattle at Washington, going Washington. And then you got Arizona at Dallas. I'm going Dallas. So midway through the season, Baltimore would be the number 1 seed in the AFC. San Francisco, number 1 seed in the NFC. Dolphins be the 2 seed right now. Cincinnati, number 7. The Bills would be number 6 seed. Chargers would be number 3. Houston, number 4. Pittsburgh, number 5. Number 2 is the Lions versus the Rams. Washington versus the Eagles. And Tampa Bay at Green Bay midway through the season. But this is going to change. Listen, I don't think this is unrealistic expectations. I really don't. You know, maybe Miami comes out and there's just no. Maybe they just don't have it going. You know what I mean? Maybe they don't. But I think the Miami Dolphins figure out a way to put a productive product on the field. Week 10, Raiders at Denver. I'm taking Denver. Atlanta at Indy. I'm going Atlanta. New Orleans at Carolina. I think New Orleans steals one. Giants at Chicago. I think the Giants steal one from Chicago. Jacksonville, Houston. I'm going Houston. Buffalo, Miami. I think Buffalo wins this one. Baltimore, Minnesota. I'm going to say Minnesota. His defense slows Lamar Jackson down. We've seen Brian Flores do it to Lamar before. Cleveland at the Jets. I'm going the Jets. New England, Tampa Bay. I'm going Tampa. Arizona, Seattle. I'm going Seattle. Rams, San Francisco. I'm going the Rams. Detroit, Washington. I'm going Detroit. And Pittsburgh and the Chargers. I'm going the Chargers. Week 11. Jets in New England. Going New England. Washington, Miami. I'm taking Washington. So that drops Miami to 7-4. Carolina at Atlanta. I'm going Atlanta. Tampa Bay at Buffalo. I'm taking Tampa in this one. Chargers at Jacksonville. I'm going to take the Chargers. Chicago, Minnesota. Taking Minnesota. Green Bay at the Giants. Green Bay. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. I'll take Pittsburgh in this one. For them to split. Oh, Jesus. Houston at Tennessee. Jesus. Houston at Tennessee. I am going to take Houston. San Francisco at Arizona. I'm going to take San Francisco. Seattle at the Rams. I think the Rams are going to be really good this year if Matthew Stafford can stay healthy. You got Baltimore at Cleveland. Baltimore. Denver and Kansas City. I'm taking KC. Detroit and the Eagles. I'm taking Philly in this one. And Dallas at the Raiders. I am taking Dallas. Week 12, Buffalo, Houston. I'm taking Buffalo. Jets, Baltimore. Taking Baltimore. Pittsburgh at Chicago. Taking Chicago. New England, Cincinnati. I'm taking Cincy. Giants and Detroit. Detroit. Minnesota, Green Bay. Taking Green Bay. KC over Indy. Yeah, Seattle and Tennessee. I'm taking Seattle. Jacksonville and Arizona. I'm going Arizona. Raiders and Cleveland. Taking the Raiders. Philly and Dallas. I'm taking Philly. Atlanta and New Orleans. I'm taking New Orleans in this one. Tampa Bay at the Rams. I like Tampa in this game. And Carolina at San Francisco. Taking San Fran. Week 13, we got Green Bay at Detroit. I'm going to say Green Bay wins this game. Kansas City at Dallas. I'm taking KC. Cincinnati at Baltimore. I'm taking Baltimore. Chicago at Philly. I'm taking Philly. Rams at Panthers. I'm going to say the Panthers upset the Rams in this one. San Francisco at Cleveland. I'm taking San Francisco. Houston at Indy. I'm going to say Indy upsets them. New Orleans, Miami. Miami takes that one. Atlanta at the Jets. I'm going to say the Jets win that. Arizona at Tampa Bay. I got Tampa. Jacksonville at Tennessee. I got Tennessee. Minnesota at Seattle. I'm taking Minnesota. Raiders at the Chargers. I got the Chargers. Buffalo at Pittsburgh. I got Buffalo. Denver at Washington. I'm taking Washington. Week 14, I got Detroit beating Dallas. Atlanta beating Seattle. Pittsburgh upset the Ravens. Cleveland pulls out a win with Shedeur starting by this point. Green Bay beats Chicago. Indy beats Jacksonville. Minnesota beats Washington. Miami beats the Jets because that's what Tua does. New Orleans at Tampa. I got Tampa, Denver, and the Raiders. I'm taking the Raiders in this one. Rams at Arizona. I'm taking the Rams. Cincinnati, Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo. Houston, Kansas City. I'm taking KC. And I'm taking Philly over the Chargers. Week 15, I got Atlanta losing to Tampa. Got Chicago beating Cleveland. I got Cincinnati beating Baltimore in this one, stealing one. I got Houston beating Arizona. I got the Jets beating Jacksonville. I got KC beating the Chargers. I got New England stealing one from Buffalo. I got Washington beating the Giants. I got the Eagles beating the Raiders. I got Denver beating Green Bay. I got the Rams beating Detroit. I got Carolina beating New Orleans. I got Seattle beating Indy, and I got San Francisco beating Tennessee. And I got Minnesota beating Dallas. We're getting down to the last few weeks. See what happens. We got the Rams beating Seattle. I got Green Bay beating Chicago. I got Washington beating Philly in Washington. I got Baltimore beating New England. I got Tampa beating them. I got Buffalo beating Cleveland. I got the Chargers beating Dallas. I got the Jets beating New Orleans. I got Minnesota beating Giants. Kansas City beating Tennessee. Atlanta beating Arizona. Denver beating Jacksonville. Detroit beating Pittsburgh. I got Houston beating the Raiders. Cincinnati, Miami. I got Cincinnati. I got San Francisco beating the Colts. Got Washington beating Dallas. I got Detroit beating Minnesota. KC beating Denver. Seattle beating Carolina. Cincinnati beating Arizona. I got Green Bay beating Baltimore. I got the Chargers beating Houston. So I got Houston beating the Chargers. Let's say the Giants beat the Raiders. Let's see. I got Pittsburgh beating Cleveland. Indy beating Jacksonville. I'm going to say Miami beats Tampa. I'm going to say New England beats the Jets. Tennessee beats New Orleans. Philadelphia beats Buffalo. San Francisco beats the Bears. And the Rams beat the Falcons. And that takes us down to week 18. Let's see who gets in. We got Atlanta beating New Orleans. Buffalo beating the Jets. Detroit wins. Cincinnati wins. Denver wins. Houston wins. We got Jacksonville winning. Rams winning. Kansas City winning. I think Minnesota wins. I think the Dolphins win. Dallas wins. Philly wins. Baltimore gets the win. St. Louis gets the win. And Tampa gets the win. So there you have it. I got the AFC East. The Buffalo Bills win the division at 12-4 or 12-5. Dolphins finish second at 11-5. New England 8-8. The Jets 5-12. I got Baltimore at 13-4, followed by the Bengals at 11-6. Pittsburgh 9-7, and Cleveland 1-16. I got Houston 8-8, followed by Indy at 5-12, followed by Jacksonville 3-14, Tennessee 3-14. Chiefs win their division again at 13-4, followed by the Chargers 10-7, Denver 9-8, Raiders 5-12. Over in the NFC, I got Philadelphia win the East at 13-2, followed by Washington 12-5, Dallas 6-11, the Giants 3-13. In the North, I got Green Bay winning the division, which is kind of crazy, at 13-3, followed by Detroit at 13-4, and Minnesota 12-5. They got 3 playoff teams in the North. The Raiders or the Bears bring up the rear at 6-11. Tampa, I got really good at 14-3. And in the West, I got San Francisco 14-3. Number 1 seed in the NFC would be San Francisco. In the AFC, it'd be Baltimore. Kansas City would be number 2. Buffalo number 3. Houston number 4. And the Dolphins would squeeze in at number 5. They'd be going up against Houston. And that would be the best matchup possible for the Dolphins on the road. That'd be the best matchup possible for the Miami Dolphins on the road, is Houston. If Miami can't get a home playoff game, if Miami Dolphins can't get a home playoff game, the best option for them would be go to Houston to play the Texans. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Am I way off base in this one or what? Am I just a delusional Fins fan? And let's say we go back to week 3. Right here, this gets us as the 5th seed. Let's say we go back to week 3. And, because a lot of people are skeptical about this game. We give Buffalo the win there. Miami would still make the playoffs with the 6th seed. The only difference is we'd be heading to the Kansas City instead. See, so I see this team at the minimum. If things go right for this team, at the very least 10-5 or 10-6. Or was it 10-7? And of course, that's us healthy, right? We got to stay healthy. We got to stay healthy. The only way that's obtainable is being a healthy football team. Obviously, if we can't stay healthy, all bets are off. If Tua misses games, all bets are off. If Tua missing any of those games sways my opinion on whether that game's winnable or not. But I think if Tua starts 17 games this season, we have a really good shot. We have a really good shot. And then maybe we pull off an upset. You know what I mean? Maybe we pull off an upset. I got us losing that stretch of games, all three of them. Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington. Maybe we put pressure on Jane Daniels, the young quarterback, and maybe he makes mistakes. And maybe we pull off a unexpected win against Washington. 10-7 bottom for me, 12-5. They can pull off a couple. They shouldn't. They split with Buffalo or Washington game in Spain. Yeah, Ramlin Chef, and that's exactly what I was just talking about. I gave us a loss in that Chargers game, which I'm not 100% positive we lose that game. It's a 1 o'clock home game that the Chargers got to travel all the way across the country. And we've had success against the Chargers. We've had success against the Chargers. So I don't think that Chargers game is an automatic loss. But I did give us a loss in that game. So there's a couple games in there that I gave us losses for that I think we could win. Now, is there a game in there that Miami could get upset in? Yeah. I gave us a win at Tampa. Tampa could absolutely beat us. You got that Cincinnati game. Who knows what Cincinnati looks like? Joe Burrow's been almost as hurt as Tua has. We know Cincinnati's defense isn't that great. If any injury happens to Cincinnati's offense by time Miami plays Cincinnati, one of the last games of the season, Miami could pull that one out. And then again, I'm gonna keep throwing it out there. The Buffalo Bills don't have a great team. They have a great quarterback. They don't have a great team. The way Josh Allen plays, he is bound to eventually miss a game or so. If the Buffalo Bills stumble at all, the Miami Dolphins will have an opportunity to be right on their doorstep and maybe unseat the Buffalo Bills. Now, that's a long shot. That's a long shot. But come on. It's a long season. It's a long season and things happen. And I truly believe the Miami Dolphins are a lot better than what the national media, a lot of this fan base is giving them credit for. Now, there was a lot of injuries. Tyreek's been out. Achane's been out. Austin Jackson's been out. Hopefully, they don't take too long to get in the flow of things. Because it does take time to It does take time to get things going in the right direction. So I'm a tad bit nervous of that. There's got to be some continuity, and I'm nervous that the Miami Dolphins are going to come out a little flat because they haven't been on the field a lot together this offseason. But I think we're a lot more talented than the Indianapolis Colts. So even if we come out a little flat-footed against the Colts, I think we should still be able to win that football game. I think New England is a year away from being a really good team. I think playing New England week 2 in Miami, 1 o'clock, in that heat, Mike Vrabel still trying to get his offense implemented. They don't have a lot of playmakers on that side of the ball. Their defense should be good, but they're going to get worn down in that 1 o'clock heat in Miami. So I think Miami wins that game. And then it comes down to Buffalo. Week 3, Buffalo, New York. Miami Dolphins, Thursday Night Football. Prime time. The Miami Dolphins need to go up and beat Buffalo. That is going to tell us what we need to know. If the Miami Dolphins, we should be fairly healthy week 3. It's not freezing cold, but it's going to be cooler. If we can't beat Buffalo week 3 in Buffalo, you might as well wrap the season up, to be honest, because this will be the same old team that we've seen in years past. They can't get the job done against elite teams on the road in weather under 60 degrees, blah, blah, blah. We need to beat Buffalo week 3. Bottom line. And Ramon Chef, I'm not saying that the Miami Dolphins, if we don't beat Buffalo week 3, we can't make the playoffs. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if we can't win week 3, you need to limit your expectations of this team, because they're going to be no different than years before, where, yeah, we can be good enough to beat the bad teams, but there's no realistic shot that we go and beat Baltimore. There's no realistic shot that we go beat Cincinnati in Cincinnati, or Baltimore, or Kansas City in Kansas City. They're not building up, Ramlin Chef. This team, for the most part, has been here together. If the Miami Dolphins can't score enough points to beat the Buffalo Bills, or if you can't slow down Josh Allen by this point, Mike McDaniel, Anthony Weaver have seen the offense that the Buffalo Bills run against us. It's not going to change up. If you can stop it, you can stop it. If you can't, you can't. Well, Ramblin' Chef, the game in Miami, Buffalo is the last couple of years. Buffalo has put it on Miami in Miami. Now, the one win we do have against Buffalo was in Miami, but we've played Buffalo closer in Buffalo than we have in Miami. Well, you're absolutely right. We build our defense to control and slow down mobile quarterbacks. We'll see. We'll see. Because Buffalo's going to try to take advantage of our secondary. Believe that. And Ramblin' Chef, yeah, I mean, if they lose on a 61-yard field goal again, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to write the season off completely. But we need to prove that we can win these football games, brother. We need to prove it. And Cat in the Hat, listen, I love it. I love the optimism. I love it. Listen, this is your football team. You got to have some kind of optimism. Miller, go away. Go away with that. Go away with that. This is a time of optimism. This is a time of optimism. I think our front seven has an opportunity to be able to slow down these elite quarterbacks. I hope week by week by week, our secondary gets better and better and better. And who knows, by the trade deadline, maybe we're 6-2 or 7-3 or whatnot, and we go out and we get a player at the cornerback position that can be a difference maker. Well, Cat in the Hat, I mean, he limited that last year. Does Josh Allen go back to the player that turns over the ball at a high rate, or is the new Josh Allen here to stay? And if anybody sees Leno in any of the chats today, give him some shit, because yesterday in our fantasy draft, he took Lamar Jackson over Josh Allen. Both were on the board, and he took Lamar Jackson over Josh Allen. How you do that as a Bills fan? How you do that as a Bills fan? Would you start Tyler Warren or Evan Ingram? I don't know. Evan Ingram's had a. Who knows what you get from Tyler Warren his first couple years? Although I do think Tyler Warren, I think Daniel Jones is going to use the tight end quite a bit. Evan Ingram's put up big fantasy points though, so I would probably take Evan Ingram. I got an A2 Cat. I got an A plus. I got an A plus and a record prediction of 12-3. Let me get Saquon though. I need Saquon in my life. What's up? You got lucky Saquon fell to the 5th or 6th pick. That's the only draft I've ever seen that happen. Tyler Warren, I have him getting 8 catches and 100 yards week 1, unfortunately. Dolphins' passing weakness has always been against tight end. I think we do stop the run. Yeah, I'd probably start both, Cat. No one ain't saying. I mean, you got lucky that Saquon fell the 5th. That ain't no skill whatsoever. I think we stop the run. I think we hold Josh Allen under, or Jonathan Taylor under 60 yards. I think Jonathan Taylor's runs for under 60 yards. I think Daniel Jones has 2 fumbles, loses 2 fumbles. But yeah, I'm not overly worried about Indianapolis. Like I said, I think Indianapolis is an okay team. I think Daniel Jones gives them a steady offense. X coming down with a Tua pick. I mean, who you putting X on? X cannot keep up with Tyreek. X cannot keep up with Waddle. You put an X at nickel? Yeah, I'm not overly worried about Indianapolis, but it is what it is. All right, folks, I'm going to get out of here. Me and Miss Finn's on the DMZ on her channel tonight. Next Tuesday, it'll be on my channel. So come check us out. We'll be talking about all things Miami Dolphins. And you know what it is. So what do you think of the record predictions? I had us finishing at 11-6, I think, making the playoffs and heading to Houston to play Houston in the playoffs. I think that's realistic. I really do. I really do. But yeah, come check out me and Miss Finn's on the DMZ here tonight, 8 p.m. on her channel. And then DMZ next Tuesday at 8 p.m. will be on my channel. We're going to go back and forth. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And Fins up no matter what. Here's to a successful season. I can't wait. Until next time, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share, and make sure you hit up Game Changers. We do the Laces Out podcast. It's only going to be on the Game Changers channel. It's in the it's in the video description. Game Changers. You got to go to Game Changers. Okay? Go do Game Changers so you don't miss the content with me and Mike Jones. But until next time, folks, you know what it is. Fins up. Peace.
Yo. Big C in the house. You know the name. Fin Posse Podcast. Changing the game. Fins up high. Feel the aqua and orange. Miami Heat blazing. We scorching the floor. We know the tour. We stacking the saga. Legacy deep, call it football nirvana. Big C, break it down, got the stats in his veins. Play-by-play knowledge like he's calling the chains. Fins flying on the field, opponents feel the blast. Tyreek cheetah speed, leaving DBs in the past. Waddle with the wiggle, defense with the clamp. Aqua drip so clean, whole squash the champ. Tuned in, Big C, got the mic on lock. Fin Posse Podcast, it's the cream of the crop. Breaking news, hot takes, repping the block. For the Dolphin faithful, it's the one-stop shop. Fin Posse. We the voice of the fans. Miami stand tall, got the world in our hands. Best podcast, yo, ain't no debate. Big C, big vibes, setting it straight. Defense smash, call it Aqua Tsunami. X locking routes like a South Beach Armani. O-line holding strong, trenches like a fortress. Big C dissected, no stack goes dormant.